Footwork is a key element of climbing training and also the most overlooked aspect when it comes to coaching and training. Without a solid foundation, you are going to find the rest of your body is going to struggle to compensate for a lack of footwork. Even if you've watched a lot of climbing videos and tried to replicate specific techniques on the wall, you've likely found that it either didn't help or made things more difficult, and this is because without understanding what good footwork looks like, it will be next to impossible to replicate. I'm going to show you some drills to help with your footwork, but before I do, it's important to realise a lot of content that you see online isn't helpful or even applicable to your session in the gym. The dynamic and flashy style you see in modern competition climbing and all over social media isn't comparable to the problems you're likely to find at your local gym. It all starts with good footwork, and I hardly ever hear this being talked about. Even strength training videos are only helping you to compensate for poor footwork. New climbers would benefit far more from some good technique drills rather than trying to improve their strength. So how can you learn about good footwork? Well, you can do what I did and spend just under 2 decades watching and analysing thousands of different climbers, or if you don't have the time for that, you can read Dave McLeod's book, or if you don't like reading, you can watch this video until the end. I'm now going to demonstrate some of the training techniques that I use and don't see being taught anywhere else. For this exercise, we're going to need what we call a ladder problem. This is a climb that goes straight up, preferably with lots of nice big holds, as we are just going to be focusing on the movement of our hands and feet. So we're going to start at the bottom, but before we hold on to anything, we want to identify which hand we are going to be going up with. In this case, my left hand is going to be reaching for the next hold. What this means is I want to be pushing off my left foot. So now we can hold on to the start and put our left foot onto the foothold. Whichever hold you choose to use isn't as important as the foot we're using. The other foot should be flagging. Flagging just means that we are putting our other leg out into space for counterbalance. Do not put it on a hold, as this can confuse matters. For this exercise, we only want to be pushing off one foot. Now we are in position, we can move up with our left hand, and now we are in a new position. Something I see a lot of new climbers do at this point is immediately move another limb, usually their opposite hand, and this breaks the drill. We want to take our time and make sure our feet are set before trying the next move. Before we make any more moves, we need to identify which hand is going to lead next. In this case, it's our right hand, so this means we want to be pushing off our right foot and flagging with the left. Go ahead and sort your feet out so that you are standing on your right foot. Which foothold you choose to place your foot on isn't as important. Once our feet are set, we can now make the move with our right hand. Now repeat this process all the way to the top. If you really want to memorize this quickly, it helps to say your actions out loud. So we've got left foot on, left hand up, right foot on, right hand up, left foot on, left hand up, right foot on, right hand up. So I'm just going to give a small demonstration on what I mean by there is no correct foot to use. I'm going to use a variety of different holds to achieve the same move. Left foot on, left hand up. Now we're going to go with our right hand, so we want to put our right foot on, and we can put our right foot on here, right foot on, right hand up. Or we can put it on this one, right foot on, right hand up. Or we can even put it on this one, right foot on, right hand up. Then we're going up with our left hand, so we want to put our left foot on, so left foot on, left hand up. That works there. Or we can use this one, left foot on, left hand up. Also works, so we can put left foot on this one, left foot on, left hand up. Or we can even use the starting hold and do a little jump, so left foot on and left hand up. By the way, these drills all make a good warm-up, especially if you don't like jumping up and down in a busy gym. Practicing these drills prior to every climbing session not only helps to reinforce these lessons, but having a good warm-up helps to avoid injuries. Everybody at some point in their climbing career has thought to themselves that they can't reach the next hold, that they're not tall enough. This problem usually boils down to a lack of technique and/or experience. For beginners, this is usually an easy fix, especially on lower graded climbs, as it's unlikely the move that you are trying is supposed to be a jump or a really high foot. So for this exercise, you will need a long flat wall with lots of holds, preferably not overhanging, as we want to focus on our feet. When you traverse the wall, using all of the holds, you will probably look something like this. It feels comfortable and perhaps natural. We are facing the direction that we are travelling in. So, this is the opposite of what we want to be doing. We want both heels to be facing our direction of travel. This will turn our back to our next hold and feel very unnatural at first, but the objective of this exercise is not to traverse in the best way possible, but to reinforce and get used to climbing backwards, so to speak. Every move must be completed with our heels facing the direction of travel. This will greatly increase our reach, but we have to practice it so it does become comfortable. You really have to force yourself to climb in this way, but after a few sessions it should start to feel second nature, and hopefully, again, this doesn't mean every move of every problem should be climbed in this style, but after watching thousands of beginners, I can tell you that this style is a struggle for most people to become comfortable with. The aim of the drill is to get used to this position. So if we watch the first demonstration again, you will notice because we are facing the direction of travel, our right shoulder is already starting at a reach disadvantage because of our body position. Also, this causes our left arm to bend whenever we make a move. This style will tire us out more quickly. Now compare this to the so-called backwards climbing, and not only have we increased the reach of our right arm significantly by having our right shoulder start closer to the next hold, but our left arm can complete the move without bending and saving some energy. Final drill is silent climbing. It's the simplest of the drills but can really help you level up your core control, and if you master it, people would comment on how quietly you climb. Using your easy warm-up climbs, the objective is to make as little sound as possible when placing your feet. Even a tiny sound of your foot hitting the hold is considered a fail. The best thing about this drill is you can continue with it onto more difficult climbs. You will be surprised at how big of an impact this little exercise will make. So those are my beginner drills that I think everyone, even advanced climbers, should be doing. Remember, these drills are intended to be done separately, and I hope that they help you to become the best climber that you can be. These are the biggest skill gaps I've identified over the years, and like Dave McLeod, I believe that the vast majority of climbers are currently strong enough to climb at their target grade. Please like and subscribe if this tutorial helped you.